So as you come out there, when you come on campus, you'll see a lot of little cottages and little houses and apartments. A lot of those folks live totally independent, but they have to be of retirement age. And then we also have 2 assisted living buildings on campus. One is specific for Alzheimer's disease. It's the first and only freestanding Alzheimer's facility in the state of Arkansas. And then we have the nursing home, which is where y'all do clinical. So it's a neat place. The residents, and we call them residents because they do live there, they love students. So you will feel very welcome when you come there. They love to sit and talk with y'all. That's probably their favorite thing. So most of the time the students will be assigned different clients, and we try to put you with somebody who that you can have a conversation with and get to know and get some information from. There's quite a variety of folks that live there. Some are quite talkative, some not so much, but even if they're not real talkative, they still love the attention that you're giving them and sitting with them, and sometimes they just want to hear about what you're doing too. So share with them. I can't stress that enough. That's really important. And it's kind of one of those things you get out of it what you put into it, you know. You can really get some good history and some good stories from them and some good information. Of course, you're going to come in and you'll have access as a student to the records. So as far as what you have to do for class in school, you're welcome to look at their records, and we let you guys do that. If you have any questions about that, there's a nurse there that can help you, and probably several that can help answer any questions. But I would encourage y'all to get the majority of your information directly from that resident, because that's where you're going to get the most benefit. You know, obviously we got to do our paperwork, but you're going to learn a lot from them. So, and as I said, we call them residents because they do live there. So we try to keep that mindful at all times, and sometimes we have to remind ourselves this is their home. So we always, you know, knock on the door. We ask permission to go in like you would anybody's home. Before you go in, we try to keep the noise down to a dull roar, I say. You know, sometimes, especially with a lot of students, there's, you know, twice as many people in the building. So just be aware of that. At the nurses' stations can get kind of noisy sometimes. But we have conference rooms that you can go and meet and things like that if you have to have, you know, a lot of discussions. But I would just encourage you to go to the individual rooms and spend time there too. Just a variety of patients. I mean, some of them walk, some of them use walkers, some of them lots of wheelchairs, as you can imagine. The nursing home is probably the higher level of care. We have several residents in their hundreds, which they're amazing. I mean, they're really amazing. So, you know, take advantage to meet some of those people and leave from their wisdom. Yes?
What would you say, like, the oldest age there is? You know?
No, my oldest resident right now is 102.
Oh.
Yeah. I've got a couple that are 102. So they're in college. 106 since I've been there. In their 8 years, 106. Yes, ma'am.
What's your physical address?
14300 Chanel Parkway. Oh, really? It's called the CCRC because you'll see somewhat of people moving through the system. They may come there, you know, independent or even as a couple. And as that life scenario changes or a spouse passes away or they need more and more care, they can move up through the system, you know, into assisted living and then maybe even to my building. My building's going to be the one. They're there because they need more care than, you know, what they can provide for themselves or for their loved one or, you know, assisted living. So our building is the only building that has 24/7 LPNs, RNs, aides. We do not, and we're not actually considered a rehab. We don't accept Medicare funding, so we're actually considered long-term care. Yeah. We're all private pay, which is very unique. Yeah, there's not very many of those in the state. So we kind of like it that way. Less paperwork, more patient care, you know. We don't have to do any of the federal paperwork, so those of you who know what I'm talking about. So, good questions. What else? Well, a normal day for them would be, our days start pretty early because you guys start at 6 over there, 7? 6? Okay. So they're just going to be getting up about the time y'all are rolling in too. So, you know, that's something, 6:30, okay. So that's about, you know, the time you can get to know them and everything. We start getting them up, getting them ready for breakfast. Our breakfast, we start serving at about 7:30. So you have a little bit of time maybe to go in and talk to them and help them wake up. Usually, pretty much everyone comes to the dining room for breakfast, which is really good. It's a social time for them and time for us to lay eyes on them, see how their night's been going and everything. Different things needed there. Students can help us set up trays, they can help serve those trays. Some of the residents need more assistance, even spoon fed, you know, than others. So those are all things that y'all can help do. And then a lot of times after the breakfast meal, we start doing our daily routines, our showers and our bathing and things like that, getting dressed if they're not already dressed. Sometimes there'll be activities going on in the morning. A real popular one is what we call sit and stretch. It's an exercise class, and that kind of gets them going for the morning. So y'all will meet Callie. She's the activity director, and she does a fabulous job trying to keep everybody busy. She has lots of volunteers that help her. It's not a one-woman show, but she's in charge of it. And again, that varies. Their activities vary on their level of participation. Sometimes their confusion level or lack of, it's being creative sometimes to keep everybody active and busy. Then we usually have a rest time, and that's a good time to get information and visit from them and look at your records. And then we start winding up again for another meal. Before you know it's lunchtime. So same thing happens again. We all try to go to the dining room and get lunch, and a lot of times we'll have entertainment during lunch. We have different groups that come in and sing and play and just things like that. And I believe the students do one day of activities still, where y'all put on a party, I think. Am I letting something out where I'm not supposed to? So they look forward to that. A lot of them after lunch, if there's not something happening that they want to participate in, they may, rest for the afternoon and take a little nap. But a lot of them stay up and visit amongst themselves or in an activity or with y'all, since y'all will be there. So, and believe it or not, you wouldn't think, but they stay pretty busy. All our rooms are private rooms, which are nice. They don't have to have roommates. So you can really go to their rooms and sit and have a private conversation and, ask your questions that you need to ask. So,
Is family allowed to come in?
absolutely. We don't even have any set visiting hours. They can come 24/7, and we encourage that. You'll see when you get there, the rooms are all different, not a single room alike, because we really encourage them to bring their own furniture from home, pictures for the walls, things that, they enjoy doing. The only thing we really require that they have is our hospital bed, and that's because they're low beds. Low beds go way down when they're in them, and that's so if they roll out, hopefully they're not things like that. So, the main thing is if you have any questions or concerns, go find one of the staff members. The CNAs that work with them every day are invaluable, for information. The CNAs have what we call a care sheet on every resident, So it'll tell you things like what their diet is, what their activity is, can they walk, can they not, are they a fall risk, are they hard of hearing, I don't know, just anything about that resident. And y'all are welcome when you figure out who your resident is to get that sheet on your resident. And I'll just give you a starting point. Does not have everything on it, but it does give you an idea of what that person needs to get taken care of. Yes?
You have closet care plans?
No. Our care plans are that, what I just said, plus for each resident, they have an actual written care plan that y'all can look at in their chart.
Just the difference between like the long, like the regular nursing homes versus the all.
Yeah.
My nursing home, we have them.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We don't actually do that, but we do have the care sheets, and the girls just carry those in their pockets. And then we have the care plans in a book, like the whole care plan on each resident.
Right.
So, just to look at.
Okay, so in hospitals, you get someone who doesn't speak English or if they're deaf, then they have, do y'all have any?
Adaptive devices. For the ones who do not hear well, we use markers and whiteboards a lot. Hard of hearing is tough, you know. We've got a couple sets of those earphones that go on with the microphone, and even at some point, some of those people can't hear with those. I mean, it's difficult. We also have a couple books that have pictures where they can point if they can't speak. And anything else y'all can think of is fabulous, but that's what we have right now.
Do you have any that come in that know sign language that communicate that?
I cannot think of anybody right offhand. I've had a couple of Spanish-speaking folks. I've had interpreters come in before for that, as well as staff members that spoke enough of it that we got by. I don't currently have anybody right now that does not speak English, but I have in the past. Believe it or not, once a week. Unless, remember, this is their Bible, it's not hospital, I know, but like once a week. But unless there's something going on with them, and the nurse will tell you that. Like if they've had a sickness or, you know, an incident going on and they need more frequent vital signs, and if y'all just want to practice, you can take them. I mean, it's not good. But no, generally speaking, our routine is once a week unless something's going on with them.
I have to do the dailies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a different mindset from the hospital, you know. You got to think that this is their home. We don't have a crash party even, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah, I knew y'all were gonna say that. I knew y'all were gonna say that. We do have an ammo bag. I've used it maybe once in 8 years. And that was just a support until the EMS got there, but, I'm sorry, we do not. I have, out of 60 residents, I have 5 that are full toed. Yeah, so that kind of gives you an idea. It'd be extremely rare that we would not do that on our population. Remember, 102. Yeah. We don't want to chat and break all their ribs when they go on. We have, in each med room, we do have an empty bed. We have a backboard if you should ever need it. We have options set up. But we're fortunate too in that we're so centrally located in Central Arkansas that a phone call, you've got somebody there, transport them over to Baptist in about 3 minutes. So it's pretty dang quick. Yeah. And most of the time on these folks, you either find them deceased, which you're not going to revive anybody who's gone, or it's been in the works and they're on hospice and you know it's coming and you're looking more at comfort care. And you will see that sometimes. You'll see on comfort care. We do a really good job of that. That's what we're good at, making the end of their life pleasant, comfortable, as enjoyable as possible. So we try to keep them busy if they want to be busy. Some people don't want to be busy, but they really, really enjoy visiting one-on-one for sure. So I would, again, encourage you to do that. But they play volleyball and there's other things they do. A lot of bingo going on, you know, especially for prizes. Yeah, yep, they do a lot of that. Trying to think what else. Anything that has to do with food and partying, we're doing it. Punch, cake. Yeah. The only thing you would have to watch on that is, you know, some of our residents may have some swallowing deficits, so, you know, they may be on the thickened liquids, so just have to make sure, and you'll know that after you look at your residence chart, whether, you know, you need to be thickening their liquids and stuff. Good question. What else you got? Yes?
So what would you say is about their approximate monthly tuition?
Oh.
It sounds
The cost that it's gonna be around 6,000, and there's some variations of that, because we have large, big suite rooms, and then we have smaller rooms. Most of them are private baths, some are Jack and Jill, like they share, and those rooms are a little bit cheaper. But that includes everything. That's all their meals, all their linens, all their housekeeping, all their room and board, as they say, all their nursing care, no matter what level they need, all their incontinence products, all their everything. The only thing it does not include is the families do purchase their medications out of pocket. And of course, if they have insurance, you know, their insurance will pay for that. But they're allowed to pick a pharmacy of choice, and it's delivered to us. But everything else comes under that envelope. Yes?
We do pay for charting.
We do pay for charting, and y'all believe it. We will be, yes. But that building is not Wi-Fi wired, and they've been working at making it Wi-Fi for a while now. It's very expensive to go in and rewire the whole building, so, but we have a new executive director who is working on that, so I think it'll get done now. We are. I kind of like it, but I'm old, but, you know, I've been through a facility that did the transition. You know, I can do it again, but I was kind of hoping to retire, but no, I'm yet.
Did they ever get trips outside of the
We do have several residents that go out, not from us. We have a van and we'll transport places like doctors' appointments and things like that. That is something that we are looking into, improving our program a little bit for the ones who can, but we do have several residents that go out with their families, but not right now as with us. So that's something I'd like to see. I'd like to also see our meal service improve. It's very clinical, if you will. I would love to see, in my time, more buffet family style meal service. Yeah, but there's all, you know, as with anything, there's issues with that you got to overcome. And one of our barriers is kind of our building. Like I said, it's not really set up good for doing that. We do cook all the meals there on campus, so the meals are good and fresh and good food. It's just they're still coming up on hospital-looking trays. You know, it doesn't really look like you would in your home, you know. So we're still working on how to figure the logistics out of all that, because of the regulations, you know, they've got to be served at a certain period of time, and they have to be a certain temperature. And so there's a lot to go with that. And then, of course, people are on different consistencies of diets because of swallowing. So there's a lot that goes into that. Yes?
I have more than one vital sign machine, don't you?
Yes.
I worked at Good Shepherd a couple of years ago, and they just had one vital sign machine.
And everybody's
for
hunting it all the time.
7 halls.
Oh, my.
Literally.
Yes.
Our neighbor can attest to that.
Yeah.
They all be over it.
Well, we have 3 for our building, but, like, we'll take turns, like, one on Thursday mornings, it'll be the odd side of the hall, and Thursday afternoons, it'll be the even side of the hall. So everybody gets them done on Thursdays, but they split them up, and then between that, they split them up between 2 shifts. So it's not too bad.
What's the cost?
About 75, 80, we would be probably having to double up some. The only room I have 2 people in, I have one husband and wife right now that share a room. So I've had several, and I've had some that didn't want to share a room. My center, but some of them are like, when you live here, you live here, and we'll meet in the middle, you know. But yeah, I've got one husband and wife right now, but the rest of them. Yes.
We can't hear, guys.
What's the patient to nurse ratio?
Depends on what hour of day you're talking about, but I always have at least 2 LPNs in the building, and an RN is there 10 hours a day. For right now, I have 58 residents in the building.
2 LPNs to 1
Uh-huh. Yeah. For day shift on the CNAs, I run 8 to 10. 3 to 11, I have 7 every night right now, and night shift I have 4. So I guess the smallest amount would be 6 people in the building, which would be midnight.
Are there set times that you check on every night?
Every couple hours.
So the nurses split those.
They do, they
So they
split
both
that.
have 24 apiece. I mean,
That sounds like a lot, but when you're coming out of a hospital, I guess it really does sound like a lot. But those of you who've done nursing home know that's not bad. We all doing meds too, or, yeah.
No.
No.
no, we don't do that.
We have different groups coming in, and some of them are seniors, they do meds and everything. So. Yes.
What's the CNA ratio?
Well, on day shift, I have 8 to 10, so that comes out to be what, 6, maybe 6 people apiece. And believe it or not, that's about twice what the state requires, which is kind of sad. We don't do what they require. We about double it. Mhm. Anything else? Was there anything else you wanted me to talk about?
That's kind of got them where they'll know what to kind of expect,
Yeah.
because everyone will be at Parkway over the next few weeks.
Sounds like some of y'all have some good experience. But again, we love the students. We're glad you're coming. Have any problems, any concerns, come see me or any of the other nursing staff. May just be something we need to check into, or who knows. Yes.
I have one more question. Maybe I missed it, maybe you already discussed it. Linen change? Did you say anything about linen change?
I didn't. We generally change them as often as needed, but for sure on every bath day. You get a full bed change every bath day. But if they need in between, of course, they get in between. Was that the question?
And the bath is, every other day?
Well, they rotate. Yeah, they rotate. Like some residents will be, we don't do every day, because you have to think about people at this age, they don't have the oils in their skin, everything. You actually do them a disservice by drying their skin out too much, you know. But like during Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but they can always have an extra bath if needed, you know. So, but most of them are fine with that. A lot of them don't like that. Don't like the bath. It's too much bother, you know.
So I mean,
Helping them to and from the meals, visiting with them. I guess they're helping give baths too. I'm I'm not sure what your instructions have told y'all to do, but you're welcome to do that as far as I'm concerned.
You don't have a bath or shower, staff?
All my staff do, bath and shower. If they have, for example, if they have 6 residents that day, maybe 2 of them are a bath that day, 2 of them will be the next day. Just rotates like that. 2 of them on day shift, 2 of them on 311, so it just rotates. We tried bath teams for a while and it didn't work out. Because everybody was lined up in the hall waiting for a bath, and that was not very homey or personal, and I didn't like it. They didn't like it either. I'll just say they didn't like it either. You know, they want to be in their room, and when it's time for their bath, then we give them a bath. They don't want to be lined up in the hall like. Yeah. There you go. I wasn't gonna say it, but there you go.
So does everyone go to the, dining room?
Yeah, everyone looks at that. I don't have any patients or residents that are bed bound. Everyone gets up in street clothes and dressed every day. Unless the nurse tells you some reason they're sick, they don't want to get up, and she says that's okay, they all get up. So. Good question, y'all.
Brandon, you had a question?
Yeah, for your Alzheimer's unit, for the patients that have dementia or it's severe enough to where they can't really communicate with you anymore, do you still have a system in place for a call light, even in the case they can't communicate, or do you just have to
We do. Our call lights are a very simple button, but we even have some that all they have to do is turn their head if they can't, press a button. I don't have anybody, I have one right now that is using that, not because she can't press the button, but because of that reason, the confusion. And it's more of it's a round pad, looks like a little pillow, and it's just easier for her, so we use that. A lot of our residents can't remember or don't know how to push that button, but it's still a requirement that they have it, But that's why we do such frequent checks and everything, checking on them. So a lot of them will not remember to push it. Safety's a big thing in nursing homes. That's why you have to be out walking and checking and making sure they're not trying to get up when they forgot they don't know how to do that anymore or can't walk alone. So they don't, that's a good point. They don't have name wristbands. So, because remember, it's their home. So they don't look like they're in the hospital. They do have names on their door, but you can't always, if you're the one giving meds, you can't always depend on whoever's sitting there as that person, because sometimes they get in the wrong room. So we do have pictures on our MAR, pictures of everyone, which helps, but we always ask them their name. We don't say it, because sometimes they'll always answer yes. So you ask them, and they'll tell you their name. And if they can't, you have to have a second person identify, this is who this is.
So you can't use wander bands, like in case someone needs?
We don't have a wander band system. Now, the Alzheimer's Center is a different building. They have a whole nother set of security up there that's not at my building.
So what do they do first of the things if they're like out and all, and they're in with all that?
They're out with us. There's no place they would be, we can't put eyes on. Yeah. They're either in the dining room or by the nurse's station. We can see them all the time. You'll see when you get over there, it's like a big circle. There's no place they can, go that you can't see. That doesn't have a